Grimsby 2, Manchester United 2, but Grimsby threw on penalties. One of the most embarrassing, one of the most frustrating, one of the most humbling nights and experiences of my footballing life. An absolute atrocity of a performance on every single level. Before we go into Man United, though, I do want to, at the start, I want to congratulate Grimsby. Massive value for their win tonight. They started brilliantly. They defended valiantly. And even when they conceded goals, they still managed to hang in there. And Šeško had that chance at the end. I need to see the replay. I actually think De Ligt got his foot to it instead of Šeško, or it deflected off one or the other. But that was because they just defended so well and they didn't give up. And they deserved it. So I want to first of all congratulate them, because Grimsby, I know when it comes to the social media side of things, they'll be forgotten about and they won't be discussed and they won't be given their flowers. And I want to respectfully give them that. And I want to say calm and I want to say humble when I say they deserved it. Their fans were on the pitch at the end of the game and they thoroughly deserved it on every single level. And I think even if Manchester United had won, I think even if Manchester United had, if Cunha would have stepped up and scored that penalty, I'd still be sitting here just as angry. There'd be no joy in me whatsoever, even if we won the game. So I wanted to take this moment. I wanted to take this time to congratulate Grimsby Town, because they absolutely 110% thoroughly deserved it in every single which way. But Man United have finished. We are finished. On every single level, we're finished. And it doesn't matter whether you're Amorim in or Amorim out, whether you said the other day Bruno was the problem. When Bruno's out, what just get better? It doesn't matter if you are a huge Manu stan and you're going to ignore his first 30 minutes of the game, which were horrendous. It doesn't matter if you love Ahmad and you're going to ignore how disgustingly bad he was again. It doesn't matter if you're like me and you always give new players grace time. But Cunha, I thought overall was poor today. Yes, a lot of running, a lot of flicks and tricks. But the amount of times he gave the ball away was horrendous. If that was Bruno Fernandes, other man would be crying. I thought Šeško did okay in general play, but he has to be scoring that at the end. I can't say nothing about it because he's new. Horrendous. Defensively, that opening 30 minutes, what a disgrace. No balls, no fight, nothing. Onana, look, he saved the, I'm going to laugh when I say that he saved the penalty. But the two goals shouldn't have been goals. Although they were the better team, relatively simplistic shot that he's near post, lets it in, comes out for a cross, misses it, and we concede to, I don't care, they handballed it, goal, give it to him. And massive goalkeeping errors again. Yep, we can blame the system, and the system plays a part tonight, but 28 shots! 28 shots. 7% conversion rate. I'm not just going to ignore all the other bad bits. It's why I'm saying we're finished. What you're going to get tonight is people nitpicking. I'm going to attack Amorim. I'm going to attack Mbeumo because he missed the penalty. I'm going to attack the keeper. I'm going, the whole club tonight is being burnt to the fucking ground. I've got to say metaphorically, because you can go to prison for saying that in England now. But from my point of view, everything was horrendous. Every last little bit. I don't care if we sack Amorim. I don't care if we keep Amorim. I don't care if we sell Bruno. I don't care if we keep him. I don't care if Manu stays. I don't care if Manu goes. I don't give a damn because we're finished. It doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter. I've lost the faith tonight. I've lost the faith. Maybe it'll come back, but I've lost the faith in Amorim. I've lost the faith in the players. I've lost the faith in the next manager, and I don't even know who he is. Well, what I'm not going to do is sit here and pretend that there's one thing wrong with Man United, because there isn't. The problem, Bruno didn't play tonight until the second half. We had a lot of players on the pitch that even the people that don't like our club anymore rate. None of them had the balls. None of them had the courage to handle that opening 20 minutes, 30 minutes against Grimsby Town, a League Two team. Embarrassing and a shambles. Can I get the faith back? Potentially, yeah. But only if they perform. I'm predicting a loss in every other game we play. And like I say, some people are going to have the big manager in, manager out debate. You feel free to have the manager in, manager out debate all you want. You can wank off to it. You can knock one out and go, oh, I was right about the manager. I don't care. Listen to what I've said all along. I don't care whether we sack him or keep him. We ain't going to be fixed with a new one. We're sort of arguing. It's like a micro penis competition. Oh, mine's 1 inch. Oh, mine's 1 inch and a bit. They're both tiny, dickhead. That we're fucked. Genuinely, we're fucked. We are finished. And I was saying before the game today, it wasn't about winning. It was about performing. More so, I've been saying it all season. And that performance was diabolical. That the clean again, we had the chances again. Right, we'll go to that. 28 attempts on goal in a game. And I was listing the ones. I'm going to go through them. Aidan Heaven's open header. Sheshko's header of the 42nd minute. Ahmad shot on the inside, 25th minute. Cunha's shot on the 13th minute, 17th minute, 52nd minute. Kobbie Mainoo's effort on the 70th that he should have done better with. Kobbie Mainoo controlling at the back post. And he could have had a tap in. Miscontrolled it, goes out for a throw. De Ligt's stupid shot, the 68th minute. I still don't know whether it was Sheshko or De Ligt at the end of the game. The angle, I didn't see the angle. I think it's Sheshko. There's that shot there. There's about another 20 very good goal-scoring opportunities. Didn't take them. Bare notes here. You know, the players can't handle the atmosphere. The players can't handle the occasion. They can't handle the pressure. None of them. Yes, we grew into the game, but that was when Grimsby's legs went. And that's what was meant to happen. Grimsby were meant to come out like a bull in a china shop. You're meant to absorb that pressure. You're a Premier League team. I don't even care if we're the worst Premier League team. They're League Two. You absorb that pressure. You handle it. You let them burn themselves out. Then you control and you score. But we couldn't handle it. Mentality. We could blame the manager. I'm all for it. Let's blame him. But let's don't act like we haven't been here before in the last decade. And as you know, my fervent belief is that behaviors and frailties and traumas continue through squads, like it continues through generations of families. It's the same difference. It's the second time we've been in this round since Fergie. It's the second time we've gone out. Keepers. Let me speak on keepers. Let me speak on fucking keepers. I blame Amorim for this 110%. Ruben Amorim, you fool. You swine. You fraud. Tonight, you're a fraud. Why the fuck are you not picking Tom Heaton? Why are you picking Bayandere or Onana? They're shit. But he keeps picking them. Continues to pick them. I'm a fervent believer in this. For instance, if Sheshko keeps missing chance, game, there comes a point where I blame the person picking him. There comes a point, if the person picking the wrong team all the time and the team don't improve, keeps his job, or we keep picking bad managers, I turn to the owners. You always go up the level. But why are we not picking Tom Heaton? He is better. Fuck it. I know he had an aneurysm not long ago, but Edwin van der Sar is better now. Peter Schmeichel's about fucking 60. He is better now. And even Onana, have you ever seen the keeper get 5 hands to penalties and still not keep him out? Clown. Absolute. I'm so angry at this team tonight. I'm so angry at them. I'm angry at the manager. I'm angry at the players. I'm angry at us, the fans, collectively. Sack all of them tonight. Shut the club down. I think we'll all be happier. Because we are finished. At every single level, we're finished. It's over. We're done and we are dusted. You know what's crazy? Man like Pim. The goalkeeper Pim in League Two is better than our goalkeeper. How's that even possible? How is that even possible? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy at every single level. And do you know what's really funny? I have to even hold myself accountable for things I wanted. And I did think Kobbie Mainoo grew into the game. But there was me about 4 days ago talking about we can't continue with this madness of Kobbie not being in the middle. We weren't any better, were we? Even I got suckered into that little old bit of bullshit. And I'm a massive fan of Kobbie Mainoo. I rate him. I think he's a really talented player. And you are right. Could be the system. Could just all be the system. For the first time in 8 attempts, of 8 managers and of 8 systems, it could, this time around, it could be the manager's system that's the biggest problem. Fucking could be. Very open to it. Don't care. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. Because I've had that debate 7 other times in the last 13 years. And each time we might get better for a period, but we're not going to get, this is us now. This is where Man United are going to be for a long time. I'm gutted about it. I'm heartbroken by it because I love this football club with every single ounce of my being. I'm not saying I love it more than you. I'm not saying I love it more than you. I'm not saying I love it more than her or them or they or whatever. That dog, that cat, I don't give a fuck. I'm not saying, I'm just telling you how I feel. I love this club. But tonight, something broke inside me. And it wasn't because we went out of a competition. I can handle losing because football isn't just about winning competitions for me. You know what broke me? For me, it's the, you know, people go, you're gonna, you know, football's all about winning the biggest trophies. That's the only thing that matters. Then nobody would ever become a Grimsby fan in 2025, would they? They wouldn't. Why would you do it? Because there's more to it. Some of it is local. But you know what? It's about being proud of something and wanting to help grow something and watching something be built. And Man United always resonated with me from a kid in the 80s when I started reading and learning about their stories. When I started reading about their Man United stories and the tragedies, and I just fell in love with the club. And I got laughed at as a kid because they were bad. But I could handle it because I liked what they stood for. Fergie then built something that was astronomical, which again, I love the relentlessness, the belief, the never say die attitude. You could lose games, but you know you'd come back fighting. So I could handle losing. We know this fight. But this club embarrassed me tonight. Not because we lost to Grimsby. I can handle that. Because we had no cojones. There was no, it was cowardice. Absolute cowardice on every single level. And that part will be ignored by a lot of people. We're going to go for the cure-all, do this, we'll be back, don't worry. I don't buy any of it. I don't buy it. I'm done. I'm away this Saturday. I'm taking I'm going away with my kids, my family, my daughter's birthday. Oh, I cannot fucking wait. I was going to watch the game and call in. Fuck that. First Man United game I'm going to miss in the better part of 25 years. And I am so looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward. It's going to be pissing down of rain where I'm going. I'm going to stand on a beach in the pissing down of rain, and I'm going to be happier than watching that bunch of pretenders on the football pitch. The manager tonight, listen, Amorim, you're sitting down for not watching your players. Oh no. Oh, I can't watch. The fuck it, get up. That for me was as bad as the Wally with the brolly. Get up and watch your team. Show some chest, bruv. I've seen you hitting a punch bag. I've seen you think you're a little bit of a kickboxer. Show some chest, bruv. You're sitting down on the bench for. And these owners, man, listen, we still need more. We haven't given him a goalkeeper. Again, that's really mad. 3 of the goals we've conceded this season have been horrendous goalkeeper mistakes. Fucking hell. Listen, man, hit the like and the share button for us, please. It's the, you know what I mean? Enjoy the laughing at my expense. I ain't enjoying it, but I'm sure some of you mugs will. This is shocking. I'm going to go to some of your super chats and then I'm bringing out the panel. And by the way, panel, I'll be blunt with you. I'm going to give you all about 3 or 4 minutes each and then I'm fucking off. So I'm not challenging you. I'm not asking any questions. Say what you want. You could literally come out and do flat earth shit. I ain't stopping you. You could come out here and you could tell me that you know how COVID started, which gets your channel shut down. I'm not interrupting. Say what you want. No nudity though, please. I see you, Dave. I cheer myself up a little bit. Nothing else. Let me go to these super chats. Oh, fuck me. Look how many there are. You wankers. I respect them, but thank you. I said 3-2 Grimsby. My dad today. I was close. You were. Get Onana gone now. Cost us big time again. Yeah, he did. Do you know what's really funny about that? When, after his first 3 months, I called for him to go, I got so much abuse. And that abuse and that criticism made me change my mind. And I wish I just stuck on it. The guy's a joke. A question: can United do it on a rainy night in Grimsby? No. Glory, shit United. Yep, we are. A lot of positives to take. If all United shots go top bins and if all Grimsby shots were saved, United would win 11-0, right, Terry? Good times are coming. Listen, no, they're not. You know, but do you know what I will say? What I will say to the stick, because there's a lot of United fans that are going to get a lot of shit today, and I know that some people suffer with mental health issues and all sorts. Something's scratching at my door. Wait a second. No. Sorry. Oh, shit. I don't even know what that was. I think it might be my dog and he ran off when I got there. Little prick. What I won't apologize for or feel embarrassed about is keeping my feet on the floor and everything. And like I'm saying, I'm angry tonight. I've lost faith tonight. I didn't know when it was coming, but it has done. Still support every game. I still want us to win. Of course I will. But yeah, unfortunately, the good times don't look like they're coming. But I won't apologize for being behind it. I won't apologize for saying, let's see how things can start to turn out. That's it. End of. The club is to blame. Use the fucking credit facility and get a good goddamn goalkeeper. Lemaines, get Martinez. We need a sure thing for this soft as fuck team. Can we still defend Amorim and the system? Listen, some will, some won't. I'm not that worried. Again, I think this is the problem with it, and it's like the tweet from Garcia before. Everything's pural. The system's the problem. I've heard it before. The goalkeeper, again, 3 at the back and 3 in midfield doesn't make Onana do what he did tonight. Doesn't make Šeško miss that shot at the end. As an example, it's about balance. I can't be dealing with stupid people that just want to blame one thing and think that's going to fix it. Not after 13 years of them all being wrong. This is why I said your signings won't do much. Fair play, you were right. I wouldn't trust United with a grain of rice. True. What phase of Grimsby in? United beyond pathetic? I don't know. I thought officials were going to rob Grimsby. By the way, listen, I didn't think the officials were going to rob them. Yes, there's a call for their 3rd goal being onside. But if we're going to be really blunt, and this is where I will defend my club because we've got to be honest, their 2nd goal wouldn't have stood with VAR because the man caught the fucking ball. So yeah, I'm not playing those games tonight. Starting to worry about Amorim's job. Did he see Indy Kalau's tweet? No, listen, I'm not worried about his job though. I'm not. I'm worried about the club. We've got to stop worrying about the managers and think about the deeper issues. Amorim knew they were cooked by not watching. Well, someone said in the comments he doesn't watch any penalties or corners. I think he should. Amorim's taking it out on United for missing the Liverpool job. No. I'm done. Ruben isn't good enough. Sack him now is what Ronnie Dodge says here. Onana is the GOAT. Who is going to buy this goalkeeper? No one. Thank you, Luke, for encouraging the like button to be hit, mate. I appreciate that. Respect and support Amorim all the way. However, I do not think it is working between the club and him. I think it is done, and I think he should move on. I never want to see Onana in a United shirt again. Listen, Adele, listen, I appreciate it. As I say, if we decide to keep him and we decide to keep building the squad, cool. If we decide to sack him, cool. I personally, it's not even about Amorim I've lost faith in tonight. I have lost belief that we're ever going to become a brilliant team again. I hope you can all hear and understand the distinction in what I'm saying. I don't think it matters. Sack him. Doesn't matter. Build a DeLorean. Drive it at 88 miles an hour. Go back to 1984. Bring us back Fergie. We ain't getting better. I think we're done. I think we're going to be here for decades. Decades and decades and decades. I am going to be dead before it's done. I hope that's in a long time, by the way, but there we go. Like Drogba said, United is a fucking disgrace. We all talk about Amorim and not the damn clown in goal. It is fully to blame for both goals conceded. Every game an error from the keeper. I agree. But Amorim does keep putting both these goalkeepers in goal. 200 million plus this summer for no wins in 3. Disgrace, I agree. Got to give this manager another 200 million and another year to get to be fair, Terry. If you think so. I know you're being sarcastic, but yeah. Onana's wrists are matchsticks. 3 pens he flapped. 6 pens he flapped. 6 pens he got his hand onto. Burnley is not a simple match. Ruben has met his maker. United might fully be finished if they don't recover quickly. Ineos running it deeper into dirt. Well, look, if it's two fouled managers on the bounce for them because they kept Ten Hag when they should have moved him on. They've gone for this guy. They're trying to build something. It hasn't worked. A lot of people called it out. Some people had faith in it. And listen, I don't think Man United fans should be fighting amongst themselves. I'm certainly not going to be doing that because we can all pull clips out. You know, Staffy tonight will probably have a go at me. Yeah, I've still got clips when he was saying that Onana was the greatest goalkeeper in the world when we signed him. We all say things that don't turn out the way we want. I'm not about the pulling on people for that. I just don't care what we do anymore. I really, really don't. I respect your reaction. Best YouTube channel. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Almost poetic that Cunha and Mbeumo missed, not because they are bad, but because so much United fans thought those two United brought United back. They were the saviors. In reality, you are so far away. Yeah, any Man United fan that thinks any 1 or 2 signings is going to save us, they just don't. I nearly said something I don't actually believe in. I nearly said they don't deserve to give opinions. I don't believe that. I'm just angry. They really shouldn't be listened to. They're allowed to talk, but I think you should switch off because anyone who thought that's a dick. Just want a proper Arsenal fan to realise that no rivals are calling for Amorim to be sacked or saying he has to go because he's crap like Arteta. I've said it multiple times, and United are the washed up olders from the block that think they've still got it. Even a League 2 side don't fear them. It's very true. No fear in anyone who plays us. Even as an Arsenal fan, I feel for you. This is too low, at the lowest of the low. Man, you are an embarrassment to the Premier League. Whole club should be sent to Azkaban. Wait till you lose to Burnley. 11 points, you said. Yeah, I'll be wrong. And I hold my hands up. You know what I mean? I wish some of you would come here about all the things I get right, though. Just turn up now, but thanks for the super chat, bro. Do you know what's mad? I get so much right about everybody else's club. But I really thought we'd start better than we have. It's just terrible. No, I'm not red because I'm shouting. I'm red because I'm sunburnt. As a Chelsea fan, this United is a disgrace to the Premier League. I hope you get relegated. Thanks, bruv. Appreciate your love. Damn, must be bad if Terry's banging on his desk. Should have never sold De Gea. Yes, we should. He was still letting him goals and making mistakes himself. This is still just such a false narrative. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. Oh, my God. KJ, can you send me a Bible to read, please? I need something to cheer me up. What do you mean? Are we forgetting? Are we forgetting the mistakes he was making? Why do we always do this? Why do we always do this why do we do it? I don't even know what I'm reading. I'm just flicking through a book because I'm so frustrated. Why do we do this to ourselves again and again and again and again and again? If we kept De Gea, we'd still be in a very, very similar position, my man. We really, really would. If this system, if it is the system, then what happened to Ten Hag's era? As I said before, it's the owners and the players. You can change all the managers you want, but nothing will change. Listen, the manager system is part of playing this, but we had chances tonight, goalkeeper errors tonight, chances right at the end to win it, penalties to win it, and we didn't. I'm not just going to completely blame the manager system. It's a delusional way to think. We only started playing better once Bruno came on. Let's not say that because he's the problem. Again, there'll be people tonight getting loads of credit. Oh, you were right, weren't you? We got things. They were the same guys at the weekend saying Bruno is the problem. Remember the word the problem. Fools. We made 9 tackles in the whole game, less than 1 in 10 minutes. That says it all. My under 9s are more aggressive and switched on to danger. Listen, it was shocking, bruv, wasn't it? Grimsby goalie said he's a United fan. Good on him. He deserves all the plaudits he gets. Is Amorim going to walk? He almost did in the summer, and not watching the shootout seems like. Listen, if he walks, that'd do Man United a favour from a financial standpoint. So I wouldn't be surprised again. But would he walk away from the money? I don't know. Sesko's mentality is through the floor. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I will say that as well. The fact that our new 60 million number 9 took the last penalty shocked me. Shocked me to my core. RIP Man United. Right now we are dead, bruv. Are you really giving up on Ruben Amorim? I'm not giving up on Ruben Amorim. I'm giving up on Manchester United. I don't care about Ruben Amorim. I don't care about the players. I don't care. They broke me tonight. If we end up becoming better, great. I just don't have any faith that it's going to turn around. So I don't care about any of it. It's not about Ruben. It's not about him. I have no faith that if we sack him, the next manager is going to improve us significantly. We might be a little better, but I don't care about that. As long as we're still spending like one of the biggest teams in the world, I expect us to be where the biggest teams in the world are. That isn't an arrogance standard. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I just do. Imagine you're building a Formula One car and you spend more money than who's the best Formula One at the minute? I don't know. Is it McLaren? Let's just say peak McLaren, right? Imagine you spend more than they do, or the same as McLaren. You telling me you wouldn't expect a car similar? Of course you fucking would. So yeah, it's not about that. I just don't have any faith the club's going to fix this, and I don't care about the manager. I don't care about the players. I don't think any of it's going to help us. Terry, do you think after all of Fergie's success at United, the managerial job is a poison chalice as the same culture isn't reintegrated into the players? Partly that's to do with it, but I think it's just the rot has set in and it is so deep. We need a reset. Listen, maybe getting relegated is what we need. Maybe getting relegated, maybe getting back. It's just something I called for years ago. And maybe I was right all along and don't even realize it. I said every fan should boycott and pull their money. We should bankrupt the club, force the owners out. Yes, we'd go backward for a period of time, but we could be reborn through the ashes. Because whilst this is the maddest bit, whilst the money's still being put in by the fans, the Glazers ain't going. We'll probably never be quite bad enough to go down because of the disparity between promoted teams and what we have. This is the cycle. Maybe. I don't know. This is why I laugh at fans that say Arteta out. Amorim won the Bundesliga undefeated and he's struggling. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Fair point, my friend. Maybe today is a day to lean into the jokes and become an Arsenal fan. Yeah, I've got a confession to make. I've rip off my shirt like I've always been an Arsenal fan. Now look, I'm not supporting Man United anymore. I'm just saying I don't care. I don't care about the talk on rebuild. I'm just going to speak about what I see in the moment, review things in the moment. Terry, how do you think you're going to? How many points are you going to get in the next 5 games? Don't care. Couldn't give a shit. Couldn't give a shit about any of it no more. Finished. The one thing, you get those like older geezers, like they're like 60, they've got 20 odd years to live, but they're just finished with life. Yo, I've seen your wife, another man. Don't care. Or one of your kids just graduated from college. Don't care. You know when they're just done. That's how I am with United. Don't care. Good, bad, or indifferent. You won 3 games on the bounce. Woo! Don't care. Finished. I don't care. I don't know anymore. Should we have stuck with Ten Hag? Nope. Not in the end because it was broken down. I mean, maybe the solution is that none of us moan for a couple of years and just be blind. One thing we haven't ever done is be blind supporters and never criticize anything. Maybe that will help. Maybe all our moaning, mine included, maybe that creates an atmosphere online that seeps into the dressing room that makes the players shit themselves. That's the solution. I wonder if any content creators could just do that. The views wouldn't be as good, but I wonder if any of us can do it. I don't know. I'm thinking completely outside the box. But yeah, sticking with Ten Hag, keeping Ten Hag, sacking Ten Hag. Potato. West Ham sack Potter, and then United hire Potter. Lol. You should have went for Thomas Frank, I think. Listen, he was one of my top choices, actually, Thomas Frank, to be fair. But again, I still don't think he fixes us. United do not need to build a new stadium. They need to build 42 quality players. Laughing at United now is like bullying a disabled child. It just feels morally wrong. Terry, you guys belong in the 3rd division. No, we don't. We belong in non-league football. T, please calm down. Your head vein is popping out, bruv. Do you know what? I've got really good life insurance. If I get angry tonight and I drop down dead, at least I don't have to watch Man United anymore. If I drop down dead tonight and I die, so I miss my kids. But do you know what? I'll be in heaven looking down. I've got really good life insurance, so the house will be paid off. They'll have money for life. I've made a few videos. I've actually made a few videos that my brother has. If anything ever happens to me, all of a sudden, for like my kids, their 18th, 21st wedding days, they've got those messages. At least I ain't got to watch United anymore if I die. Something seriously wrong. It still doesn't make sense to lose to Grimsby. But this is the point, Mohammed. This is what I'm saying. I don't really care. And maybe this is more what I mean. We can sit here and we can debate until we're blue around the lips about what the problem is and how to fix it. We're all just wrong. None of us have a fucking clue. None of us. You'll have people tonight going, Sunshine's backstage. You'll know the people I'm talking about. I told you about Amorim. Oh, look at me. I know, ball. What? You were the same guy that said that Ten Hag would make us do this. You're the same guy that said that Rashford would do this. Or you're the same guy that said that Bruno under Amorim would do this. You got some bits right. You got some bits wrong. We're all fucking wrong. That's why I don't care. I feel Grimsby. Do you know what I'm going to watch after this? I'm going to watch the film. You know, the Sacha Baron Cohen film about Grimsby. I'm going to watch it just to fucking rub the salt into the wounds. Grims were robbed by a disallowed goal. No, sorry, but not just to disrespect it. Their second goal should have been disallowed for handball, so I'm not going to play in that game tonight. United need to do a total overhaul, including removing Sir Alex Ferguson, his administrative position. This group have done that. He doesn't get paid anymore. He's there, but he doesn't really do anything. He's just like he's basically like a living, breathing statue, but he doesn't have an administrative job. Just like how Wenger stayed away and allowed the club to start with a clean slate. Yeah, maybe. You could be right, but never going to happen. We can't even people can't even give up buying shirts to stop the Glazers. Fucking get Fergie out. Fuck me. You might be right. I'm just saying, no chance, mate. Man United fans go, we hate the Glazers. All they do is rob our money. What are you doing today? I'm going to give the Glazers 300 quid. That's the people we're dealing with. I hate the Glazers. They're lynches. What did you do at the weekend? I gave the Glazers all my money. Fucking me. Fuck my ass. It's so funny. Oh, don't actually do that. Alert. I just lost faith. Fact that I just didn't care anymore shows everything I don't know. What can solve this now? Where do you think we move? I don't know where we're going. I have no idea what we're going to do. I don't think it matters what we do, my bro. I'm just going to vibes it. We win. Woo! We lose. I'll criticize it. I'm not buying into anything anymore. Chin up, tell. We've all been there before. Enjoy your channel, brother. Appreciate it, mate. And do you know what? I'm really happy with life. I've got a great channel, a great community. And do you know what I look forward to the most? Liverpool games, Arsenal games, Chelsea games. I enjoy them. I enjoy them. Chat to people after. It's beautiful. I might just ban Man United from the Football Terrace. Palace have a good goalkeeper. Yeah, I know. That's another one that all the people saying they're right today wanted out the club. I need to just reiterate this. Gary Neville said United will surprise people. Yeah. Gary Neville just always says that though, doesn't he? He says it every year. He said his reason for picking Arsenal to win the league is because he picked them the last 2 years. Fuck me. £10 million a year. Pundit. The manager was hiding in the bench. Disgrace. I agree with that. It was very disgraceful. Buzzing, the manager needs one game per week, and this has been his message since November 2024. We don't need any Carabao Cup hindrance, and the players follow. 28 shots. That is like only fire play with no finishing. Foreplay with no finishing while she is lying in bed crying for some real action. Bro, I'll tell you now, listen, being on the edge, and again, if you're not sexually active, you don't know what that means. Being on the edge is a madness, bro. Being on the edge is one of the best experiences you could have in your life. Do you like a whole evening just being on the edge with each other? Fucking heaven, bruv. But I hear you. Yeah, be on the edge. It's amazing. It's like drugs, but no drugs. I don't even know what drugs are like. I've never done them, but you get my point. My problem with Amorim tonight was his head in his hands in the dugout during the penalties. Where was his support for the team? That's not right. I agree with you, my old mate. I agree with you. 110%. I agree with you. Not going to lie, United's board is lost. Pick a damn play style. The players don't know what to do. Any manager coming will foul, and no manager will want that. Southgate incoming. Told you last year, bro. Great. Let's do it. Don't care. At least you played well against Arsenal. We did. I don't change. I mean, I don't rewrite that. And what did I say? Like, the performance has got to do it again. We haven't done it again since. And what did I also say to you? So let's not misrepresent me. I said, we don't replicate that in the next few games. It means fuck all. That's why I'm done. To make matters even worse, Grimsby rotated their squad. Yeah, their top goal scorers on the bench. It's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Put respect on Arteta. Club was spiraling like United. The board need to think long and hard about what they want from managers. You'll need to apologize to Rasmus. He wasn't the problem. This is the irony in it as well. You know, I think Rasmus had to go in the end. I think his confidence was shot. But yeah, look, I said it on so many shows and got called out for it by so many people. When I said, we don't create enough, do we? Or we don't do, for him, we didn't. But tonight we did create. Fulham, we did create. Arsenal, we did create. Couldn't score. Fuck me. United need aggressive owners like Chelsea. They changed the squad completely within 2 years. Agreed. Onana was banned for doping. Now match fixing. At least, you know what? If he got banned for match fixing, at least that would explain why he's so bad. Chelsea, Liverpool, Newcastle make football look so simple and beautiful. Grimsby B team beat United's A team. Oh, my days. Yeah, it is horrendous. Right, panel time now. As I said, people, have 4 or 5 minutes, say what you want. Not going to challenge you. And I'm fucking off. No disrespect to any of you. I love you all the bits. But my head's gone. My head is gone. KJ's here. We've got Lou. We've got Sunshine. We've got Deezy. With Dan. We've also Aiden's here with us as well. KJ, I'm going to come to you first, bro.
Yeah. Sorry. Someone sounds like something's going on. Sorry. I'm lost for words, as you can clearly see. I don't know what to fully say. The Baradas, the Wilcox, the Vivels, you guys got a big choice to make right now, because for me, he's lost me. Amorim has lost me, and I'm someone who likes to give managers time, and I was defending Amorim a lot last season in terms of what was happening. But when you get a new attack force that you've been asking for, when you have got the preseason you're asking for, when you have got out the play, you've excluded the players that you said were ruining the culture and the vibes, and they weren't good enough, and all these different things. You've ostracized them, you've excluded them. They're getting sold or not used. You've had the preseason you've been asking for. You've got the new attackers that you've been asking for, and yet you perform the same stuff still. I can't back that. I'm sorry. I said losing to Grimsby, and it's in all the group chats. I said before the game, I said losing to Grimsby is a sackable offense. And even if we had won that game on pens, I probably would have said he needs to go anyway, because winning on pens in the way that we did is a sackable offense. This gave me, it reminded me of when we we just about beat Coventry on pens in the FA Cup final. Yeah, semi-final. Yeah, we went on winning the FA Cup, and that was a great moment. But you could clearly see in that moment that there's big issues with the way that the manager sets up, with the players as well. I'm not gonna hide away from the players have been awful today, but there's a big issues with how the manager sets up. When a League Two side can see your flaws and dominate you for 45 minutes, that is a massive red flag. When they can highlight where the issues are, the goalkeeper's vulnerabilities at the near post, on corners, the midfield's vulnerabilities with pressure, with high intensity. When they can do that and exploit that and look like the better team for 45 minutes, there's a big issue with what the manager's doing. And the problem is that, do we believe he will change? Because in that game, he had an opportunity to change the shape. He took off a defender. We all in the group were like, oh, wait, is he going to go to a back four? Is he going to push the fullbacks higher? We're going to get more players in the midfield and make stuff happen. No, we saw Dalot at left centre back, and we saw Mason Mount left wing back. And what did that achieve? It achieved nothing in the end of the day. Mason Mount out there did nothing for us. It didn't change our fortunes. He brought on Bruno next to Kobe, and it didn't do anything. His changes haven't been working. He was sitting there with his board doing up Football Manager, and nothing happened. So as much as I want to go in on the players, and Onana is terrible, and how has he not saved most of these goals that he let in today and penalties? As much as I want to get in on the attackers for just being poor, Ahmad was extremely poor today. Konya was extremely poor today. Sheshko was extremely poor today. All those things exist at the same time as what Amorim is doing is not right. And he's not willing to change. I wanted him to evolve his tactics. I had no issue with what he's trying to do. I could see what he's trying to do. But I said, I want him to evolve his tactics going into this season, because that's when you know you've got a good manager on your side, that you've seen your flaws, you've seen the issues that you had from the first season, and you change that, you move forward. He has not addressed those, and now he's refusing to address those, and I can't back that. So he needs to resign. He's offered to resign twice at Man United already. You need to do it a final time, and this time the club needs to let him go. Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, Christian Vavel, you guys are the new footballing structure. You guys need to set a way of playing in this club, because I don't believe they got Amorim with the idea of the set way we want to play. You know why? Because every player we've bought have been multiple system players. The academy still does not play the way that Amorim plays football. Why is that? It's because you can tell the club, as much as they wanted the manager to do well, the club do not fully believe in the way that he plays football. Otherwise, the idea that they've been saying that they want the academy to play the same football as the first team to make the transition easier, they would be playing free at the back. They would be playing football the way that Amorim plays football, but we don't. The academy don't do that. The players we buy aren't specific for that system, because they don't fully believe that this is the way to go forward. The actions speak louder than their words for me personally. So if that is the case, they need to pick how we want to play. And it's not about formations per se, it's how we want to play. How quick do you want to be on the wings? How do you want to build up from the midfield? How do we want to defend? Pick that and go and get a manager that will fit that. Because clearly Amorim's not fitting a philosophy, because it's his thing and his thing only. And that's fine when you're the best team in Portugal. That is fine when you've got the players who are superior to the teams that you're coming up against in Portugal. That is fine. But this is not Portugal. This is England. The Premier League showed you that any team can beat you. And now League Two, the fourth tier of English football, has also shown you that doesn't matter who you are, if your system has holes and flaws, we will exploit that. And if you do not change, and if you do not find solutions for your own flaws, that you'll get exploited and we'll lose. So that's where I'm at. Half these players, again, need to go. Onana, I don't want to see him play ever again. I don't want to see Bayern play ever again. You know, there are players that don't need to play for this club again. And we need to make that decision. But it's a tough one, man. I'm at that point where I'm like, they need to, the higher ups need to make the change now. They need to change something in this club, because Amorim won't make the change himself. Yeah.
Lou, obviously an embarrassing, horrendous night for Manchester United. We're out. You can. I don't care what you actually speak about tonight. You can review the game. You can rant about the manager. Over to you.
To be honest, I'm actually just very much on the same page as you, Terry. I'm done. I'm normally like quite positive, look for the good side of it, you know. See today, I am done. I'm done with the manager. I'm done with the players. I'm done with the club. I'm done with, every fan that got any enjoyment out of that club losing tonight that calls himself a United fan. I'm done with them as well. Every single person involved is an embarrassment to themselves and to us as fans. I don't really have it. I don't have enough to take up 4 or 5 minutes, because I'm just so mad. I can't use the language that I would use. Can I ask you a
question? I know I said I wouldn't interrupt, but I'm going to ask you a question on that.
You go ahead, because I'm just going to talk in circles giving out.
Is it? Is it for you? Because I want to see if you're thinking the same as me. And I have no idea what you're thinking because we didn't speak about this.
Neither do I.
Is it for you, like, you don't care? I'm trying to see if you think the same as I do. Because, yes, it could be this manager system. It could be this crop of players. But is it a case of, I feel like we've been here so many times before. I know we beat Coventry on penalties in the end, but we had the semi-final against them. This isn't sort of the first time this has happened, and it feels far too regular for a club that has spent £2.5 billion on players in a decade.
How many times have we been nearly? Like, how did Eric Ten Hag keep his job? He won, do you know, like, it was one match. One match was the difference in him keeping his job. What happens if we won it on penalties tonight? Not everybody, but a lot of people, it would have blown over. Sure, we're through. It happened. We move on. We beat Burnley, blah, blah, blah. Like, how many times have we been nearly? And like, so many people slag Arsenal for being nearly because they're not winning the league. How many times have we been nearly? Nearly out of the cup. Nearly out of Europe. Now we're actually out of Europe. Nearly out of this. Nearly relegated. What, like, how many more nearlies are there going to be before it's just the club's done, let alone we're done as fans? Like, there's only so many times you can do nearly before somebody's heads had to roll. We've already had managers' heads roll. We've now had players' heads roll. Like, we've had boards' heads roll. Like, what actually has to happen? I saw someone in the comments early at the start of the show, and they were like, this club needs an exorcism. And I was like, see, at this point, give it a go, because nothing else is bloody working. Get the slipper out. I don't care what you like. Burn it to the ground. As you say, metaphorically, nobody start lighting matches. But I mean, what more do we have to do? We've changed managers. We've changed style, this style, that style, counter-attacking, no style, adapt the style, this formation, that formation, get rid of the bad players, get younger players, get experienced players, get older players. Like, what more can we possibly do? So, see, as far as I'm concerned, I just do not see a way back. And if there is a way back, I have no idea what it is. And I don't think they know what it is. So if they don't have a clue what they're doing, we don't have a clue what they're doing. The players look like they've never seen a football before in their life, let alone seen each other and played football together. What the hell is going to change? It's just going to get worse. And it's actually getting worse faster. Not only is it not getting better, it's getting worse, and it's getting worse faster. So,
well, you know what? This is one thing we spoke about many, many times on the terrace. And David, if you come on there laughing, honestly, I know you're a big geese. No, not you, David. Not a different Dave. This David, I'm gonna knock you out. You put, I'll smash. You're a mate of mine, so I can say this to you. I'm gonna smash you up, bruv. You might be bigger than me, but you know, no, I'm messing. But Lou, listen, I hear you, and this is the thing why I'm saying I don't care. And you've hit the nail on the head, because every time we've sacked a manager and just blindly believe that just bringing the next guy in fixes us. I'm not saying a new manager can't fix us. I've lost faith that we're going to get it right. But fans pushing this, just bring me this guy and watch us get better. Maybe for a little bit, maybe it's slow, you grow. But every time a manager has come to the end of their tenure, it's been in a worse place than the previous person, which is why I'm just exhausted when it comes to the manager in, manager out conversations, because I think it's futile. David, as in United David, what you saying, bro?
Oh, mate, Terry. Look, before I get into what I want to say, a few of the super chats touched base on it, right? Any Manchester United manager that's sitting on the bench shaking like a leaf like that, I said this in the chat, right? He looked like Jigsaw had kidnapped him and put him in a basement somewhere. And this ain't the first time this has happened, bruv, yeah? Before the Tottenham game, the final, he sat in the tunnel and he looked the exact same. Bro, if you ain't got the minerals for it, if you can't handle it, you shouldn't have taken it on. Resign. But look, let me get into this. Let me try and chill the emotion. Let me try and stay composed, because I want to say what I need to say, right? How far are we willing to go with this manager and his philosophy? How far are we willing to go with this manager and his system? He's exiled quite a lot of players here. And like most United fans, I'm fully behind the manager, right? Something needs to change. We need to get rid of these players. We need to find new players. We need new energy. But then you start to look at it and you start thinking, hang on a minute. If I was Garnacho and Mason Mount played ahead of me in a Europa League final, Mason Mount will never do anything that Garnacho's done in a Man United shirt, and he could play for Man United for 10 years. I would also throw a few toys out of my pram. I'm not sure I'd wear an Aston Villa top, but I'd also be a little upset, right? Rashford, we all know his form's not great, but he did show something under Ten Hag. But another player that's been exiled due to not really fitting the system. Rashford doesn't play that inside number 10. He's not a striker. Anthony, why have we not kept him? No one wants to sign him. Why have we not kept him as a replacement for Ahmad? A bit of a backup. We all know Dallo is not the answer. Højlund, we know he's not the answer. But hang on a minute. What happened to the days when you used to have 4 strikers? Right? Højlund's not our main guy, but why are you getting rid of him? Another person who maybe doesn't fit the system, because you've seen how he started the first 2 games. False nines all over the gaff. Our problem as United fans, in my opinion, is we blindly back managers. There was a time under Ten Hag that he made us believe that Weghorst was better than Cristiano Ronaldo for our club. And we followed it. We went behind it. I've had enough of it. It's been a few weeks now. I can't even listen to this manager talk, bruv. I can't listen to his interviews. And shall I tell you why? I remember when I was younger, maybe 16, 17, God knows, and I'd be speaking to a girl all night, right? She'd be telling me all the things she's going to do to me. Next day I'll see her, right? Next day I'll see her, she'll spud me, mate. I've been here before. I know when you're talking a lot of nonsense, he talks all the right things and never follows through with it. Never, ever follows through with it. I said this after the Arsenal game. I said this after the Fulham game. But fans think I'm negative. Fans think I'm not. I'm just saying what I see. I'm going to finish this with this. And it's a message to Amorim. Desculpa, amigo, mas isto não está a funcionar. Right? Arruma as malas, book um ticket do British e vai para casa. Obrigado. Translation. This ain't working out, mate. Buy a ticket on British Airways, head home, pack your bags. Thank you very much. That's it from me, legend.
If I may, I think I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think my only problem is, and I will speak for all the people that backed Amorim through the summer and through the season and all this stuff, right? Last season, very clearly, our attacking players weren't good enough, right? Garnacho, head down player. He likes to play for self, in my opinion. Not exactly a team player. Højlund lacks so much quality that is painful. Not a United player, in my opinion. Rashford, his inconsistencies, his ups and downs, and he's going clubbing in Belfast, and the quote unquote culture problems that he creates. Not a United player, in my opinion. Gotta go. Anthony has never done it in a United shirt. Not a United player, in my opinion. Sancho, let's not talk about him. Not a United player, in my opinion. David De Gea, howler after howler when it was his time to go. Not a United player by the time it was time to go. We love David De Gea for everything he did when he was good, but let's be honest. Everybody in the TFT chats, and we can go back and find the clips. Everybody said it was time for him to go. So the point that I'm making is, the quote unquote positive United fans said we can agree with all of those decisions because there's some logic and there's some reasoning behind it. His record was atrocious. And I'll speak for me in this instance. I said, let him get some new players. Wait till the season starts. Let's see what he's got going on. But he has to win games. And there's no two ways about it. He had to win against Fulham. He didn't necessarily have to win against Arsenal. To be honest, a performance was what we needed, but he had to win against Fulham. He had to win against Grimsby today. He has to win against Burnley. So then the question is, when he doesn't win the games that he has to win, what's the consequence? I think he's done. I think he's done just like you guys think he's done. I think we've arrived to the same conclusion, going 2 separate ways, and the reasoning for our conclusions is slightly different. But I think the conclusion is the same, that I think he's done. I think for the positive fans that tried to hold on to some belief that maybe it's the players and he could turn it around and maybe there's some legs in the system, it just didn't work. And you know what? I'm fine to say, you know what? I was wrong. The guys that called out early, you guys were right. But he's got to go. And that's just the crux of the situation for me.
Do you know what I would say as well to that? Like, people that did call it, people, Danny Devil in the details always said it wouldn't work. Fair play, right on this one. We all get some things right. We all get some things wrong when it comes to our clubs and rival clubs. I remember getting called a psychopath last year in one DM because I said Liverpool might challenge for the title. I got called a psychopath for that opinion. These things happen. But I think what you said at the beginning, United fans have got to hold on to, because it then leads into what David was talking about, the blind faith, because we go, oh, when we get a new manager, we'll cook, because it wasn't the players. No, they're also a problem. And that's why I'm saying I don't care, because I don't think changing managers fixes this anymore. I don't know what, I actually don't have, I'm not even going to give an opinion on what fixes this anymore, because I don't think we're prepared to actually do it as a football club. I really, really don't. And even now, I actually have a feeling we're not going to sack him. I have a feeling I think we might buy another player or two.
Yeah.
He's going to go on and again, we're going to sell some more. This is what I think we're going to end up doing, because I've lost faith more in how we're trying to fix a club tonight. Something's just gone in me. And that is, we'll get rid of Garnacho. We're going to get rid of Rashford's gone. We're going to get rid of Anthony. We're going to get rid of Sancho. We'll get rid of these players. We'll give it another few months. If it doesn't turn around, we'll bring someone new in. And it will be, oh, this guy plays this way. Oh, guess what, though? We haven't got anyone who plays on the left. We haven't got anyone that does this. And we got rid of the players that could do this job. And it's like, right, it's okay, though. We'll start again. And that's my biggest fear in all of this. So you are right, Deezy.
To be honest, though, Terry, I think there's a bigger chance that he'll walk than us sacking him. Because I know what people say about the payment, he won't walk away from the payday. I don't think he seems to operate that way. He seems to be a bit of an ego man. Because actually, he came in very much saying something similar to what Bruno said. Bruno came out before in an interview and said, like, this is the way I play. I know some people don't like it, but tough luck, I'm not changing. That's basically what Amorim has come in and said about his system and his formation. This is my formation. This is what's got me success so far. I'm not changing it. He's stubborn like that. At the end of last season, both our manager and our captain came out and said, well, I'll leave if you want me to. We talk about leadership in our squad. We talk about mentality in our squad and in our club. And our manager and our captain are coming out waving the white flag at the end of the season. They've now come into a new season. Bruno was off it the other day. Amorim did absolutely nothing. The captain is skying a penalty because the referee got in his way and it annoyed him a bit. And the manager sat watching it, doing absolutely nothing. And then you get to tonight. Our team is in a penalty shootout in a match we should have walked. And there's the manager sitting on the bench, not even looking. What does that say to the players? What does that say to the fans that have travelled to that ground and watched that absolute dross? He can't even stand and look at it. So see, when we're talking about a team that lacks leadership, I've heard people say rudderless and mentality and all the buzzwords that you hear all over the place. What the hell are them two going to change? Because see, between them, they couldn't stand up. Like, what are they going to do? And I agree with you. I don't necessarily think a different manager is going to do any better. I don't know what the solution is at this point. But what's happening isn't working.
Yeah, that's facts.
No, I hear you. I'm going to go to a rival for a minute. Positive Dan, what you saying, mate?
Oh, you muted, bro. Yeah, we still can't hear you, bro.
Your mic's muted.
Yeah. Don't know if the right mic is plugged in or not, but it's not coming through. No sound's coming
We'll come back to you in a sec, bro. David, as in Chelsea David, you can speak, you bellend.
Do you know what it is? I remember, because a couple of years ago, I remember being KJ, hoodie up. I was sad. I couldn't do anything. And KJ was there making a little laugh, having a little joke. So I'm going to do the same, because this is brilliant. How have you lost to Grimsby? Grimsby Town, the fishes. And what makes it even funnier, there's a young 6-year-old child. He's brought a sign to the stadium. United get battered everywhere they go. How the audacity of a Grimsby Town fan who he don't know better to walk into a stadium with that sign as a League 2 club is crazy. And what makes it worse is the way Fulham were talking at the end of your last game, talking about how they're going to exploit you. Grimsby found their own way of exploiting you. It's open season on United right now with what they've got going on, because they just went, that goalkeeper in there, we do not rate at all. Every ball going in the box, we're sticking it on his head because he can't deal with it. And today, I mean, not only was he at fault for both the goals, he should have saved 6 penalties. I think it was like got so many hands to penalties. It was I was watching it thinking, how you do this as a professional goalkeeper? This is your job. You have been doing this since you were 5, 7, 8 years old. He was at La Masia, but somehow he can't just push the ball out. And fair enough, keepers make mistakes, they do that. But to do it that many times in quick succession, it's got to be a fundamental problem. It can't just
he palmed 3 penalties into his own net.
It can't be just a bad day.
I just want to say here what Ruben Amorim has spoken on this, and he hasn't said much. He's just said he said that the best team won, and he said, in fact, the only team on the pitch won the game. He's apologized to the fans, but then there's one thing he's done that's infuriated me. He's then gone on to say that they said, "Oh, what about Onana?" They asked him about Onana, and he said, "With all due respect, when you lose to a Division 4 team, which was Division 3, Division 4 team," he says it's not just the goalkeeper; it's everyone. I am getting to a point now where I know there's backing your players publicly, but these keepers keep fucking up, and he keeps defending them, but then he keeps playing them. I'm honest. I remember what I said in my rant. Why is Tom Heaton not playing?
He's our best goalkeeper. Tom Heaton is our best goalkeeper. And you know what proved it? Preseason. In preseason, he was our best goalkeeper. And you look at it like, you know what? Until we buy a goalkeeper, get this guy in nets until that point. Because you know the other 2 are flipping wank. Yeah? And he still has not made that decision. And that's the one thing that pisses me off about the Man United managers that we've had recently. They're not brave enough to make certain decisions. I don't care if Onana's the highest paid goalkeeper in the club. I don't care if Bayern there is, he's a nice guy and he works. And upon that, they both suck. Tom Heaton is a professional Premier League goalkeeper. He's got more experience than both of them combined in the Premier League. And he can't get minutes. I don't care it's 38. I wanted him in nets for a month. You're telling me he can't play for a month? Crazy scenes.
If you've got 2 goalkeepers, you've got no goalkeepers. You need to have a definitive 1 or 2. There's got to be, even Kelleher, who's a good goalkeeper last year, everyone knew Alisson was 1. If you've got 2 of them that are battling it out and they're both that level, you've got no goalkeepers at your club. Again, there's got to be, honestly, this, like, I know Chelsea, we've had our own problems and we were bad. I actually am befuddled. I am.
Forget the goalkeeper.
I don't even know
for a
another
second.
word. I'm
Forget the goalkeeper.
bamboozled.
Forget the goalkeeper for a second.
How do you even fix?
These men play better football than us. I know a lot of people want to speak, so I ain't going to interrupt no more, yeah? But these guys played better football than us. This team played way better football than us. Even if the goalkeeper makes mistakes, we can't score 3-4 goals against Grimsby. We can't string 6 passes together against Grimsby. You've been in the job nearly a year, and you can't get a style of play in a team to put more passes together than Grimsby. Forget the goalkeeper. I think he's right in his interview in what he said, saying that, don't talk to me about goalkeepers. My team should be good enough to outplay these guys, even if we make 10 mistakes.
Well, they should be. And I mean, look, we did. I think we had 4 times the hang on. We had 4 times the passes that Grimsby did. We had 28 shots on goal. We had our new number 9 miss an open goal from 3 yards out. So I hear your point, but we created opportunities. We had the ball in the right areas, but again, what we missed, that was later in the game. What we also didn't do is and this has been the same, and this is why I don't just blame Amorim. It's why I don't care anymore. We have not been able for a decade to handle high intensity game. We go to a place where a team fucking sticks it on us and the crowd's up. Our players' arseholes goal. They're pussy holes. Every single one of them. We had this. We were the better team against Sevilla, Europa League, 3 seasons ago. Yeah. We were 2-0 up. And we conceded a couple of scrappy goals. But we were the better team. We all remember the game. We were much better than them, right? We'd all agree. Went to their ground. The crowd was up. The press was up. And our players went, poop, 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 poop. The arsehole's goal. They can't handle it. And this is why Ruben's right to a certain degree. But this is my problem with everything. Everything is, the goalies need criticizing. The lack of goals need criticizing. Our ability to handle pressure needs criticizing. It's everything. Which is why, though, I get sacking the manager tonight. Let's do it. But that's why I have zero faith the next person's fixing us, because it's been the same every fucking time. Yes, it's worse now, but it will keep getting worse. And this is, again, people that have been in this space a long time that remember, I said it when we sacked Jose. If we don't fix certain fundamental issues with the club, like we spoke about on tonight's show, it might get better, but it'll end up being worse. It did. When Ollie was sacked, I was in the studio with KJ and we had Devil in the Details. My video's still up. I said, I'm excited about Ten Hag, the way he plays, but we've got to implement his style. It's going to take years to fix, but the culture at the club's mentality, the players handling pressure, we've got to work on a way of fixing that. If we don't, we might start well, but it will end even worse than Ollie's. And it did. Said the same thing this time round. And we're getting the same problems again and again and again and again, which is probably why I'm so jaded about the conversations, because the solution that people provide is so basic and ignores root cause problems. I find it so hard. That doesn't mean people are wrong about that, that symptom's an issue, but we have to look at more than just style of play. I think mentality still, for me, is an even bigger issue, because the lack of bottle in this team is fucking crazy. Look at the semi-final against Coventry. We were 3-0 up. They scored a goal. The crowd got up our asses. They're not a better football team than us. Come on now. Sunshine, what you saying, bro?
I mean, I think it's got to a stage where I'm just laughing at the fan base, man. I'm just there now. I'm hearing manager out this again. I'm hearing blatant lies, and I'm not saying the line on purpose. I think the when people make opinions because they're just tired and fed up, I get it. But let's stick with the accuracy. You ask for a new manager to play certain style and systems. Quite evident he's playing that. This is why I always go game to game and always remember most of the games, because context matters to the wins. Do I not say, Terry, wins change people's opinions most of the time, more than the style of play? Yes, I did. I've been saying it for the longest. You can play any style of football, but make sure you get your wins. The simple fact that we haven't won tonight shows exactly how we've regressed as a fan base and gone, yeah, Amorim out, his style system doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. None of that actually makes accurate sense according to what the game we saw, because evidently we created so many chances. That's what your system should do, right? We strung more passes together. That's what your system should do, right? Is that consistent with what we saw at Arsenal? Yes. Again, last time we did that against Arsenal was 8-2 against Arsenal. Fulham, exactly the same. Wasn't a great performance at all. I think it was subpar, if I'm being honest. But we also know that they're not robots. It's football, and we're also going through that little transition phase. So I'm expecting, if you're expecting United to finish 9th or 10th or 8th, then I'm expecting these type of performances. That's quite fair, I think, and logical. However, because we're not winning off the back of these great stats, we now press destruction button, and what happens is all the emotions from the previous season, the season before that, and the season before that, it's all feeling like we're going to the same direction. So people are just saying, let's just implode it and get a new manager. The reality of it for me is, I'll be honest, it's individual errors once again. And like I said to you, if you don't take your chances, those players don't take their chances. We've hit the post against Arsenal, hit the post against Fulham, fair play. We missed a stupid penalty from Bruno, who, again, understandably, should get stick for that, and that's even from me. Like, I don't care if a manager bangs into you and whatnot. Focus, reset, put it on target. Standard procedure. I'm sorry, that's elite sport to deal with it. So no, I'm not having that excuse. You're looking at these situations, it's coming down to key areas. Now, because of the weight of the pressure from the online fan base over the season after season, stuff like we've spoken of tonight, it's seeping onto the pitch, which means there is a smaller threshold every time a new manager comes onto the into the scene. Every time players have to go and perform and get a result for us, the threshold is getting smaller and smaller. So managers are getting less and less time. Why? Because we can never go through a process because the fan base can't handle it. Standard. We haven't got the backbone for it. That's cool. Yeah, I may be in the minority, but we haven't got the backbone for it. So we can't handle the pressure of losing games even when we perform well. Even if you're lying to yourself saying style of play is everything, quite evidently it isn't. So scrap that nonsense again, please. We're not moving forward with that with the next manager if we get to that stage. But then we look at it and go, okay, well, we're missing sitters. Because we're missing sitters, we start going back into that same mentality of, oh shit, here we go again. Then we start second guessing what we're doing on the pitch. If you're watching what's going on, Ahmad stops running at people all of a sudden. The confidence is seeping and getting less game by game because we're not getting the results. We're not getting the rewards for the positive stuff that we're actually doing on the pitch, which is from the manager's tactics. Now, you don't have to rate the tactics, you don't have to rate the system. But is the system working according to us being able to create chances? Yes. Is it defensively doing all right? Yes. And I'm not saying great, I'm saying all right for a 10th position team. So if that's the case, and that's stable. Then the other elements are individual errors. Once again, we've got a goalkeeper who can't even save with his feet. Once again, bottom corner. That adds pressure to the team to then go and get a result, because not only do you have to go and get a result, you've got to go put a performance in as well. Playing for this club right now as Manchester United is difficult. You could bring me Pep Guardiola. If you claim he's the best manager in the world, you can bring him into the system, give him the same time. I guarantee you, he won't be able to do exactly what he wants to do.
But
Why? Because the simple fact is we have got a team full of players and full of a culture that is struggling under immense pressure. And when we apply more pressure over silly results, because we're not getting results, right? Then these players are not going to step up to it. And you have the silly expectation that you bring a manager in and you change the system of formation, you get the results from that system of formation, i.e. you create those level of chances, more than we've ever done for a while, by the way. But yet still, I've not heard one of the Man United panelists at all delve into, it came from a rival fan to delve into Onana, which was the biggest problem, because that's where our confidence started to dip down. We underperformed. Hold up, I've been waiting for the longest, I'll be honest. I've been patient. We underperformed against Grimsby for the first half. Absolutely. Right? No Bruno on the pitch. Cool. Wicked. It is what it is. Also, all of a sudden, Bruno comes on. We all of a sudden have some level of creativity. I don't know why that happened. Someone tell me. But the first half was a shambles. But when you're underperforming, let's be honest. We can look at Liverpool against Castle. Underperformed, but did they manage to get the win? Yes. Arsenal underperformed against us, but did they get the win? Yes. Sometimes you don't have to perform incredibly well against any football team. That is sport in general. But can you get over the line in those moments? And what gets you over the line is everyone still maintaining their stance and their focus. Onana is simply gone, we're performing shit, and I tell you what, I'll make it even harder for you and just let these shitty goals go in, which then means you're now clawing the game back. We come back to 2-2 after he made the substitutions. If we'd have won that game, people would have said, oh, you know what? Amorim made certain changes and he put Bruno and Kobe in the midfield, and luckily we scored 3 goals. And because we've done that, maybe you should do that for next game. But because we didn't get the win, now we're having this sack manager culture again. For me personally, I'm just laughing because I know it's gonna be the same thing. It's the same thing.
Grimsby.
I got a question.
What's Grimsby got to do with sport? It's the same principles in football.
I don't want to descend into shouting madness, so I'm just going to ask a question. I'm not saying what you're saying is completely wrong, Neji, that you've got a lot of points that are true, especially about fan base in time and all these things. But when it comes to Amorim and the system, you're saying that it's technically working. When teams of multiple different levels can find the same holes and the same ways of getting at you, surely there's something wrong with the system that is beyond players being individually bad, right? Like they highlighted the same, because the way that they pressed us in the first half is the same way that I've seen Newcastle press us, same way I've seen Brentford press us, and all these Premier League teams. I've seen teams in Europe press us that way the same. Well, we have the same issue each game. When does that become a system issue over the players individually being bad? Oh, your signal's gone, by the way. I can't. Can anyone hear him?
No,
it's good.
Have you covered your mic?
No, it's not. It's not coming.
No, it's not good.
Go and come back.
If I may, I would like to respond to what Neji's saying, and I do agree with a lot of what he's saying about the system provides players with chances and blah blah blah. Right. However, the only problem is with that statement, we have 7 wins in 29 Premier League games.
Well said, mate. Well said.
We have 12 wins in 44, 45 games in total, bro.
Yeah.
This system has never been proven to work ever, bro. The only reason that the positive fans were holding on to hope is that give him some new players, maybe he'll get some wins. So realistically, this isn't a revelation. This is just a continuation of everything that we've already seen as far as this manager system. It may or may not provide chances, but we don't score. We don't stop people from scoring. We're very open. We don't control games. And at no point has a system looked like it's going to click into place for us to go on a consistent run befitting that of Manchester United.
Mainly wants to leave because of this system.
So realistically, it's not a manager in, manager out off of a reaction thing. we've seen this for about 50 games, and we've said
Yeah.
this is not working, bro.
You're making me, but you know why you're making me feel worse, right? And I mean this in a nice way, right? I'm a bit like that in the sense of, like, so we know we need a better player. Right? We've bought some goal scorers. Let's see how things look now. Let's see what happens when we take our chances. These guys ain't taking their chances, and I know it's only 3 games in. I'm at this point though where I'm like, there's this part of me that goes, yeah, let's get rid of him. Let's go 4-3-3. We'll be okay. And then there's just another big voice in my head that goes, don't be a dickhead. It's fouled the last 8 times. It's going to foul then. So I just feel that's why.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's like everything everyone's saying holds water. I think everything does. And there's point scoring. Oh, I called out that Amorim would never work. And yeah, great. Like, honestly, well done. I'll make some certificates. I'll make them right now on air. You can have them. You can put them in the fridge. Show your mum. Show your girlfriend. Fucking crack on. Go back over the 12 years since I've been on socials. You get those right. You get those wrong. It is what it is. For me, it's what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like a turkey that's caught Bernard Matthews smiling at him. It feels ominous, bruv. I've got this weird ominous feeling. I really want to speak to Aidan for a minute because he's been waiting. Aidan, what you saying, bro?
Just before I start off, I'm the youngest on panel, I think. And I haven't seen United good. The biggest trophy I've seen this team win is Europa League Cup. Like, I have suffered.
Damn.
I have suffered for so bloody long. I'd go through school being bullied by bloody Liverpool fans. Like,
well, no, but you've had it easy, bruv. I don't know. It's like that old debate. Do you reckon it's easier to be born blind or turn blind? At least you were born blind.
Nah, easier.
I've seen everything.
We've had to adapt to the dark. You were born in it. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, back to you, Aidan.
I don't even drink. But I said it in the group chat. I'm going to turn to drinking at this point. Like, honestly, this club is made me question things. Like, but it comes to a point where I don't even care about manager talk. Like, we've gone through the same system for 7 years. Not even 7 years. 7 managers. Like, people think the manager's gonna bloody change anything. It's not. And we've gone through a whole transfer window, getting players that suit Amorim's system. He put in all the players that this is how we're going to play. We're 3 games in the season. What if we sack him? Who are we going to put? We've literally done everything this season, prepare the season to relate to him. So whoever gets in now is fucked, no matter what. So it's finished.
Are they?
Exactly.
We haven't got a left winger. Like, if we want to move from 4-3-3, we ain't got the players to play.
Okay, we haven't got a left winger. We've got Cunha, who's been played left wing. He can be a left winger. Dorgu has played left wing multiple times in his career. Listen, even if you whack Ahmad out there or Mbuma out there for a season, it ain't the best, but you've got players. The fact that this is why as a United fan, I look at what the club are doing. I'm like, what do you want to do? You've seen it in reports. You've come out in reports and said you're buying multi-functional, multi-system players. Why is that? If you're not willing to change the way that you play, if something goes wrong. So I don't necessarily think we'll be screwed if a 4-3-3 manager come in or whoever. It'd be just more of how does the club want to play, and can that manager fulfill that? And that's the big question that I want to see the club answer.
Well, we have to make the decision has to be made in the next few days because there is still time in the window to rectify
exactly
that situation in the sense of, I mean, I'm not advocating for this personally because I think his behavior has been reprehensible. And I'm actually this. I got what you said earlier, David. Maybe some of these players are misbehaving because they're not happy. I'm just from a school of thought that is, I don't really care if they feel mistreated or hate the system. They don't have the right
time. We are in a different time, though.
Yeah, but I don't think we should. I still don't think we should tolerate it because I don't think the clubs that are successful tolerate people saying, "Well, and this is one of the reasons why we're fucked." Is because what we've allowed to happen at this club, more so since the Jose era, is players have been backed over managers, and this is why there is sometimes a blind support for the manager. Jose had us in second, and Jose had us not playing the best football, but we were second. We won 2 trophies. He got a new deal in the January. We were in second. We weren't near City. They were better than us. He went into the board and said, if you really want my football to go to the next level, I need Martial and I need Pogba to go. Because essentially they weren't doing what he needed in terms of the work, the grunt work that his teams needed. The board went, no, we're keeping them. It crumbled since then. I never blame Martial and Pogba for it because they didn't make that decision. But ever since then, players have got what they want. And there is this other part. This is why I say I don't care to a certain degree anymore. Let's say now we sack Amorim tonight and we go and get a manager that plays 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. And we say, Garnacho, can you come back, please? The message that sends into that dressing room is if you misbehave, and maybe there are some players in the team that are like, bro, welcome back. We didn't put in all that effort. Boy, you're back. What that guarantees is they're going to fuck the next manager over as well because you pass on that habit. So that's why
you're not wrong. But come on, like he has to pay dividends. Like he has to start getting results to back these decisions.
He does.
But I don't think this is just an Amorim decision. I think, forget how you feel about Amorim, whether you agree with his tactics or you think it should be sacked tonight. Just like take Amorim out of it. Yeah. Amorim isn't the first manager to have problems with these players. Solskjaer was the most consistent manager we had since Sir Alex Ferguson, and he was marched out into a press conference to apologise to Marcus Rashford, who's over here clubbing instead of over there training. These problems didn't start now. We have had these attitude problems with these players in this squad far before Amorim came in. So while you might not always agree with everything Amorim does, and I don't agree with everything Amorim does, I actually think one of the best things he's done since he got here is get rid of that poison.
Yeah, and
one of the only thing.
It's not. I'll be 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, I was going to go back to you, bro. That's all.
Oh yeah, that's all good. And it's not about well, if you sack the manager that you reintegrate the players that he excluded. No, they still get excluded.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And that's the main thing that we need to establish as a club. Just because the manager hasn't fulfilled what we are doing doesn't mean you're magically back off the hook. You haven't fulfilled what we want to do either. So you can do one as well. And that's what we hopefully Man United will do. That's how you can keep the culture. I know Davy's here and he's going to start smiling. Chelsea is probably the best example in recent times about this. They tried one way of going about it in the early days of Clear Lake, got it completely wrong, hired like 3 different managers in the space of a year, didn't work. They quickly said, bun this. We're going to go for the new approach of buying the best young talent. We've set the way we want to play. We want to play a certain way, and we'll get managers to fit that. They don't care if the players are performing well. As soon as they don't suit, they're gone. Even though the manager also is sacked. Poch got sacked. The players were unhappy. They got Maresca. Are they talking about Poch anymore? No, because they have a vision and plan that they've stuck to. Man United, for playing football, need a vision and a plan of how we want to play. If it's how we want to play with Amorim, fine. We won't like it, but it's how they want to play. Make that work. Make that get results. That's what we need to do. And yeah, until we do that as a club, I don't know, man. I don't know. But what are you saying?
That's what's happening. I feel. Oh, mad. There you go. Yeah. I'm still there. There we go. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I had a notification come up. Yeah, sorry. No, I feel like you're right in the sense of you got to stick to the plan and have an idea. But how do we know it's not the idea? Like I said, results change the barometer of how we assess game by game because a lot of us are going off the emotion of what we feel, which is still, by the way, relevant. Still relevant because we're still upset. And you're rightly upset. When you listen to everyone's opinions of why they're upset, it's relevant. You can see why. It's not like it's not a fact. But judgment just off that alone and missing the points of the game itself, maybe, again, for me personally, I can do it in the split of a second. I can acknowledge the emotion but still dissect the game, how I personally see it. A lot of people may take 2 or 3 days and revisit the game and go, you know what? Yeah, fair play. Cool. Whatever
so you thought we played well. You thought we played well, yeah?
Say again, sorry?
You thought we played well today.
I mean, I've not said that, and
I'm asking you.
Oh no, I don't. No, not at all, not at all. But this is my point to what I was saying to KJ. To respond to him, there are going to be moments in this side at this present time where we don't play incredible football, and when you're not playing very well, can you go and grind out results? We have seen Manchester United over the period of Fergie time play shit ball, but we're only remembered for the win. Why? Because we went and got the win. You can go as far back as the 1999 Champions League when we were dog shit, and then it was just a magical moment, right? Man United don't always play great football. When we're on fire, we're amazing. That 08 team, incredible. But the reality of football, sport in general, you're not always going to be at it. However, do you expect as a Man United fan to go and get the win? Yes. So if you're expecting that, how do you go and get the win? You don't make silly errors and bloopers that add pressure to that team whilst you're underperforming, especially in a team that is still quite evidently needing some time to get to a level where they can make top four. We're all predicting 10th, 9th, 8th at best. So we're expecting, if that, and again, I'm assuming now, but I feel like you're intelligent enough to assume that you're going to have performances like this, whether it's Grimsby, Fulham, Arsenal, whoever. So regardless of the performance, have you got the quality to go and get the results when the chances expose themselves? Onana today added a heap of pressure that has not only just come from the last 2 games that we haven't got positive results from, but then also from the fan base, and it's the 3rd game in. That level of pressure on any athlete in any situation, in any environment, is going to have its negative effects where it stops us from performing to the level that we all want. That is a fact. I don't care what you say. That is sports psychology down to a T. So if that is the situation, why am I now expecting this team to go and continue to showcase everybody wrong and go and smash the results against Grimsby, when the simple facts is we've gone from starting the season in confidence, doing what we did against Arsenal, to then Fulham not getting the result we wanted, even though we've underperformed. So now we go into Grimsby, and you can quite evidently see the drop-off in terms of how we started against Arsenal to how we started against Grimsby. That has nothing to do with talent, nothing to do with systems, in my opinion. It has everything to do with a mindset that has continued to seep in this culture of Manchester United, and is always triggered for every single time. It is always triggered when there is a level of pressure and we can't take our chances. Because reality is, you look at Liverpool, play shit, but yet still to go and get a win. No one's talking about how shit they are at the back. Nobody. Don't want to chat. Don't want to hear it because they're getting results and it's fine. That's how football is. Can you get results when you play shit?
Son, the only disagreement I have is that the difference in quality between you and Grimsby is so large that no matter the pressure of a situation in the game, just win. Regardless of
David, right?
what's going on, no matter what is going on, the difference in class of those two squads, it shouldn't matter.
Yeah,
if Onana makes 2 mistakes, Onana makes 2 mistakes, cool.
David,
in one half against Grimsby, you should create 5 clear-cut chances that you can put away.
I'm not saying we shouldn't.
Easily.
But this is the same dilemma I have for season after season after season, right? Terry may be on board with it, I'm not sure, but I speak from an athlete's perspective, right? I've competed at the highest level in my said field. I've been international to the highest level. I'm saying that I've had conversations with elite athletes from football to basketball to rugby for every standard. And we have similar conversations about performance under pressure. Regardless of the talent, can you apply that talent under pressure? That is a key conversation that we have.
But that's part of their job.
That's their job. That's what they get paid
part of
for.
their job. Is to be able to perform under that pressure.
I'm not saying it's not. I actually agree that it is part of their job. But just because it's a part of their job doesn't mean that because it's your job role that you are able to do it. Because it takes a certain mentality to be able to do that. Now we're talking Manchester United here. We're not talking flimsy athletics or taekwondo or fighting for. We're talking Manchester United. One of the biggest sports complexes in the world with the most heat ever in a sports franchise in England. And regardless of whether we win, lose, or draw, the pressure of that is immense.
Well, there's a super chat here towards you that says to the guy in the yellow hat, that's Sunshine. Do you think United live in a bubble? Do you think United are the only team that with that pressure? Other teams manage it.
It's a good question. I don't believe that we are the only team with pressure, but I do believe we are the only entity and the only team with the level of pressure that we have. Quite evidently, even when we're shit, Man United is spoken about. Quite evidently, even when we're good, we're shit. Even when we're on social media, everyone's talking United. Fabrizio can't literally live a day without mentioning us 24/7. When the narratives come up on Sky Sports on your national TV, they're using euros and yen and flipping naira, for a fee. But they can't be asked to use pounds. The narratives are created. Why? Because again, this is an opinion, right? So you can agree and disagree. That's fine. My opinion of it is when you're massive as a club and you've done so much damage to so many, and this isn't banter, genuine. You've afflicted people's lives. Football's passion. When you've pissed people off over their season, they are naturally going to want the opposite for you. And we're looking at the level of pundits that we have now. They grew up in that era where they were getting shit on left, right, and centre. I expect that level of pressure when you're at Manchester United. That is standard. Nobody wants to see us win. That's cool. That's because we fucked over people. Nobody wants to see that. I'm not saying they should. But what I am saying is that level of pressure is not there. You can look at Liverpool in the 70s and 80s and go, they're a top team. But still, the level of pressure was, can United do da-da-da-da-da-da? United as an entity are too big to not have the level of pressure. So to answer the question specifically, every team has a level of pressure, but the type of pressure that's coming into United, forget the badge, getting Man United back to what everyone thinks that they should be.
We lost to Grimsby today because of pressure. We lost to Grimsby today because
no,
of pressure.
If that's what
your players who you spent hundreds of millions of pounds on couldn't get the job done against Grimsby Town because Fabrizio Romano tweets about Manchester United.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if that's what you want to take and you know, be naive with it,
I understand your point about pressure. And against Arsenal, makes sense. There's a lot of pressure when you're playing a historical rival like Arsenal. This is Grimsby fucking Town. These lot are in League Two. I don't care about what pressure is there. These players who have all these fees, all this money, they should be able to handle the pressure of 8,000 away at Grimsby Town. If they can't, then you've got a real problem.
So, but this is what I'm trying to say to you, and I agree with you, right? So you look at Onana today. We're playing Grimsby Town, but he can't make a save down to the bottom corner, right? I'm not saying that it's under pressure. I'm saying ultimately, right? The things that you do consistently, whatever you do consistently, becomes habit. And when you start getting off, and again, it's in sport. When you start getting in familiar territories, familiar pressurized situations, your body is designed to react according to how it's been naturally moving. That's what happens. So we see it no matter whether it's Grimsby, whether it's Arsenal or Fulham. There is a trigger in their minds and in their performance when they get under a level of pressure
there for the new players as well. That's what I don't get.
Exactly. Cunha and Mbeumo weren't struggling with pressure at Brentford and Wolves, and Onana didn't struggle at Inter, but now
again,
all of a sudden they put the United shirts on and they shit themselves.
The expectation is different. If you're telling me the expectation is exactly the same at United, then cool.
Look how quickly you've seen Mbeumo and Cunha fall to this pressure already. They've just got here, you know. So I'm wondering
because the environment they're coming into and the expectation. Yeah, Cunha missed against Fulham.
Well, so if you can't change all, no, I get it. But if you can't change the entire squad in one window, how do we expect this whole idea of mentality and pressure to change?
Do you know? Great question. Well, this is where I agree with some parts. I never agree with 100% what everybody's saying, but there is a pressure on Man United, and I've been talking about it for 7 or 8 years. We don't have the right mentality as a club. And one of the solutions, I'm just spitballing here, maybe we start spending less. Maybe we lower the. I know people go, have high expectations. Maybe the standard FC approach is actually killing us. Maybe aiming for this all the time is building a pressure that the club can't handle. Look at this super chat. I've got to go to super chats here. This here says, you got to look at this. This is blame the Glazers, got Ineos. Blame the structure, got a new one. Blame Ten Hag, got Amorim. You could work that back. Blame Rashford, he's gone. Blame the attack, got a new one. What else? But this is it, right? Maybe every time the new manager is dog shit. Maybe everything new is shit. That seems off to me. Like even by chance, you'd sign some really good players at the same time once or twice, right? There is some truth in that. This here says Grimsby had less of a chance today than Tom growing a moustache. I guess he could answer the question. I think he did answer the question. So Liverpool ain't got pressure. Arsenal ain't got pressure. Chelsea ain't got pressure. Madrid, Barca. Tevin, I don't think that's what Sunshine has said, that no one has pressure. Man United have just not been able to get themselves out. And every time a new manager comes in, every time new money is spent, we all have to admit as United fans on this panel, we all feel that pressure build more. I know we were all going into tonight's game actually really nervous. So are the players. How we fix it, I don't have the answers. Like I've said, I'm almost over suggesting reasons, because whatever you say, you're going to get shot down and abused for it. You're just going to have, no, you've got to embrace the standards. Well, I feel like we've been embracing them for fucking 12 years. Look where we are. This here says, this is an interesting one here that says, Amorim interview. He said, my players spoke. Oh, sorry, I've lost the comment. My players spoke really loud about what they want. Seems like he knows they are trying to throw him under a bus. I've seen a few things on socials. I haven't seen any direct quotes where he sort of spoke about the players aren't sort of listening to him, or the players. There's murmurings that the players don't like playing this way. I'll be honest with you. I know that a lot of people don't like the system, but there is this part of me. Guess what I'm saying? But this is why part of me is like, I don't care anymore. Because if the players start moaning about the training styles and it's like a PE teacher and we change manager again, the new guy ain't fixing it either, because they're just going to do it to him as well. I know he's good, but your captain is your culture. Bruno is a loser limp, always an excuse like the team. Show some stones and get him gone. This is the thing. I just, again, we buy a better player maybe, but the idea that Bruno is the reason that we are where we are, Bob, is laughable.
Well, maybe it's just, maybe instead of thinking of people saying, they're saying this is the one problem, maybe we just gotta think all of it's part of the problem, you know? Every problem is part of the problem, you know?
No, Jen, this is what I was trying to say earlier. I actually don't know what way you go about fixing this problem. Because what you almost need to do, what you need to do is sack everyone at the top, everyone at the bottom, like who can actually affect performance. You don't have to sack kick people and dinner ladies. That's probably a bit too far.
Bro. Everyone can get it.
and then you always have to clear out all 24 members of your squad and bring the brand new 24. And then maybe paint all the walls yellow,
you know what
or a different shade of red, just to make it all new.
Yeah, but you know what it is with that? The people doing the sacking are the same people that's got it wrong for 12
No. They should sack them. They should sack everyone and then sack themselves.
But you can't do that unless someone forks up £10 billion, bro.
Bring the mindset coach back. Bring the mindset coach back.
And this is what I mean by I don't care. Of course, I care about Man United. But when I say I don't care for those conversations anymore. If someone asks me a question, I'll answer it. But I'm not getting in. If someone says, I think the way to fix this is to... We used to have a guy that used to phone up saying we should hire Donald Trump to run us. I'm just going to start agreeing with everything. I'm going to go, yeah, cool, done, get it over the line, whatever it is. The thing is, I just feel like no idea is a bad idea. You know what I mean? It's this, but you know, I don't know. You always go for these hipster managers, but that isn't true, is it? Ollie weren't a hipster manager. Ten Hag weren't a hipster manager. Jose wasn't a hipster manager. What's the difference between a 12-incher and Man United? Nothing. Both bring tears to your eyes.
What?
I have a hard life. Do you know what I mean? It's United are in a time loop of being rubbish. It's Groundhog Day. It really is. He basically just said that he's gone in the internationals. The players have made it clear that they want the performance that he said. Well, I need to listen to what he said. I just look at it like, again, I'm not worried if he goes. I've got no faith it's going to be fixed, though. I've just got to vibes it. It's going to be game by game. Good this week, good that week.
He's going to have to do what Eric Ten Hag did in his first season. Eric Ten Hag, the shittest start to the season ever. Yeah. Everyone's like doom and gloom, and then turned it. He's going to need results.
But this is it. This is my fear, right? So let's just go by what this comment has just said, that the players are sort of saying we want to change. This is what will happen in my opinion, based on experience. He adapts. He goes, okay, guys, I changed the formation. The players go, yay! You see an uplift. We start winning. We start scoring. We start performing. We all get giddy. Gets us to a certain point, and there's like, guys, we now need a system, whether it's free at the back or what, it don't matter, that's a bit more sophisticated. We've got to bring some more, and I need you to work harder because we want to go to the next level to try and win the league and be more consistent. And then the players are going to go, well, we don't want to do that. And it doesn't matter that Cunha and Mbeumo have just joined. Everyone gets corrupted by this club. It's going to happen. That's the fear for me, where that's why I just don't feel like there's whatever the solution is. I'm like, been there before. It's not worked. I hope it works, but I don't.
I know you're flying through these chats, Terry, but just if he said that or something similar to that or something that sort of implies, well, the players don't want me anymore, so I'm probably just not going to be here. That just goes straight back to mentality again. And so, like Sunshine said earlier about habits, the thing is about habits, the best way to break a bad habit is to create a new habit. If at the very top, this mentality is still there. If we still have a manager coming out going, oh, well, the players don't like me, so I might just leave. Like, what the fuck? Honestly.
Bad face.
Sorry, that is when you know someone says a swear word with all vim in their body. That is what that was.
No, but I agree, and that's I agree completely. It's as you say, and even if he does go and go, all right, I've got to find a new manager now. The way I look at this, I want my owners to run the club. I'll be like, okay, the manager's left because he couldn't take it. Cool, great. But equally, I'd be like, the players that have said we want to change, I'll be fucking them off as well, because you don't get to dictate. No one gets to dictate. I will bring people in to help me run my businesses, but you don't you start downing tools on me, you're getting fucked right off. Like, I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
If Lou came to work for the Football Terrace and KJ's like, Terry, I've got to leave, and he's all upset. I'm like, why? Lou won't listen to me. She wants me to manage in a different way. KJ could come to me crying and say I've quit because Lou wasn't nice to me. I'd be gutted, but I'd say, all right, KJ, you better crack on and you know, cry, you need some Kleenex. But the next thing I'm doing is getting rid of Lou, who wouldn't do as she was told. And I know David said this, and I'm so upset that David's thing went, it's a new world we live in. It's only a new world if we make it. This idea that we have to bow down to what people want as, well, I won't come to work then. Well, you don't have a fucking job then. Where is this gone? Why is the working world changed that much? If someone doesn't turn up for work for me, or doesn't want to work how I am telling them to, they don't have a job anymore.
That is true. But question, Terence, where does collective improvement come into this? As in, if I tell you there's a thing that we could do better for the terrace, you're not going to sit there and just say, no, it's my way or the highway, piss off, you're fired. You might, be like, actually,
but I understand that. I understand that. But if I've hired someone who works that way, then for me, I still go with my gut. We've got to build what they want first. If we do a thing where we build a third of it and then say we're off, again, we don't know what we don't know. We'll all go, the results were bad, so there's no way it would have turned around. We'll never actually have an answer. And that's the one thing I would say. Look, some people think we influence what happens at a club. Some people think we don't. Let's just live in a world for a moment where we don't influence the club at all. They don't give a fuck what we think, right? Let's imagine that. Let's just say our only purpose is debate, conversation, education, because we'll learn from each other and a bit of entertainment and fun. Let's just say that's all we do. We still don't have any actual definitive answers about what would have happened if we'd have actually backed Jose. What would have actually happened if we wouldn't have signed commercial players for Ollie and just bought in what he wanted. That's my kind of one big frustration with Man United, is that we've never got to the end of a road. We've never got to the end of a plan. We've never got to the end of something and gone, did it actually work? And I was fortunate enough to have Van Gaal as a customer of mine, a client of mine. And I remember talking to him on a number of occasions after he lost his job. And he said it and he said it again. He goes, we were really moving in the right direction. He was like, we weren't perfect. We weren't scoring enough goals in games, but we had the control. What I needed was better quality players in the midfield and up front. And lo and behold, the summer that we sacked him, we brought in Pogba and Zlatan. And he personally believed those two players would have enabled his system to, again, dominate the ball more, break more teams down and score. And Zlatan would have scored more goals. And he's like, I think we could have really gone to that next level, but they stopped it. Then they went in a new direction. Jose, we've already mentioned it tonight. And that's, for me, again, this isn't even about backing Amorim. And that's the problem. It's hard to have these conversations. It's that we never finish something. And Chelsea are doing it now. Chelsea are finishing something. Chelsea are saying, we are going to build the squad the way we set out to. We'll change the coaches along the way if we have to, but we're sticking to this recruitment plan. We're going to wait until these players are 24, 25, 26, and we're going to see what they're sticking with it. And you are now 2.5 years into them sticking to it, starting to see it coming alive. But they went through hell and high water. They didn't drop as low as us in the league, but they still had some very horrible days, some very horrible runs, better than ours, absolutely granted. But I just, on it, that's why I say I'm at a loss, really, because I think there's a lot of things that have been said tonight that hold water. Can you tell us, United fan David, to stop with the helium and put his normal voice on? Maybe Garnacho was never the problem. Again, no one player was the problem. No one manager is the problem. We have to learn that as Man United fans. Don't think Ruben is the problem. Regardless of the formation, United should have dominated. The front three needs to settle. We knew most else needed to be sold. But this is where I also agree. Look, we didn't start well, but you can't have 28 attempts on goal. You can't have the amount of entries into the box we had and still lose. Like, we still should have won the game, irrespective of the formation. And that's where I do look beyond it, because I think it's very easy to go. If we play 4-4-3 tonight, we'd have won the game. We had a manager playing 4-4-3, we win the game easy. I don't know if that's true. I honestly don't know if that's true.
What they're saying is basically, if we play 4-4-2 or we play 4-5-1 or we play 4-3-3, people finish their chances. That's what they're basically saying. Because the reality is the formation's making the chances. So let's say we play 4-4-2, 4-3-3, whatever. We create the same amount of chances. What they're saying is we would have just scored the goals. That's the only difference. Reality, unless Ruben's system wasn't creating that amount of chances, it was looking bleak, and we weren't defensively doing all right. I'm not saying great, but all right for a 10th positioned finished team if we can make it this season. If that's the situation, then what is the factor that is different? Just not putting it in the net. So the formation is relevant.
Sorry. No, listen. I agree to a certain extent, and I think that we'll have this focus, and if the next manager starts failing, it'll be something else. It may not be. It depends on whether you like this manager or not. Ruben has just said that the players want him out. Where are people seeing this comment? I can't find it. Because someone DM it.
No way they've said, "Boss, you need to piss off." Like,
yeah,
I don't think they've said that.
I think he said the way that they played, the way that
turned up against Arsenal. Turned up against Arsenal and then disappeared, rinse, repeat. But this is also a mentality thing. If you can turn up against the big teams and you don't against the small teams, I don't see that that's tactics. And I'm not even saying, yes, I get that teams set up differently against you, more space to play in. It was the way we didn't handle that. I know what you're saying, KJ. It's 8,000. We couldn't handle the Grimsby crowd tonight. What's going on? How can we handle, like last year, Liverpool away, but we can't handle Grimsby away?
Because the pressure was different. We had 3 hits against the big teams.
Yeah, it may be it. Yeah,
this is like you must win, and you must win by 5. You know what I mean? It was it's different. But
I can't wait till we get back to Old Trafford. That stadium, I don't know what it's going to be like.
That Ruben point, by the way, before you go, is he just said I'm reading text, so I can't actually hear what he's saying. He said, "I think the players spoke really loud about what they want today. Something has to change, and you're not going to change 22 players again."
Okay. So he said they've spoke. He goes. So he basically saying their performance, where they played, is them sending a message.
It's because they kept on asking him, "What's your thoughts on the game?" And he just went, "The players spoke out loud for me." He basically avoided the question to say the players have already answered that question.
That is ominous. That is to be.
I mean, I've got the second part. Like, I get he was being asked a question, and if you're being pushed and you have to answer it, but it's the second part. He didn't have to add that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
If you watched it, because when KJ was talking, I was watching him, and he's honestly, you could see in his face, he just didn't want to be there.
But you know what? Let me not defend him, but let me point this side of it. Maybe he is looking at this and saying, you know what? Maybe why he can't watch his team, and I'm not defending him. I'm just putting it food for thought, and it could be a combination of 6 of one and 2 3s of another. It could be this element of he's looking at it and going, "These fuckers just ain't doing what I tell them to. They're not." Like he could be sitting there going, "My system ain't fucking hard. Sporting did it with ease and went in the Champions League and beat City with it." You're like, what the fuck? He might be looking at it himself, going, "The fuck are these lot doing?" Right? Because I don't know. It's weird.
But you know what? Just go in the press conference and say that. See if you're thinking about quitting. Your players want you out. You might not make the international window. Do you know what? Just go in, rip it up, say whatever. I mean, if you're going to go out in a blaze, say it all. Who cares?
Ralph,
do you know what I mean? It can't be worse. Add a bit more pressure, as Sunshine says.
Yeah, exactly. Cal here says that United should just ignore the fans. Arsenal did for the rebuild. Chelsea did, but I personally think Amorim is actually an issue this time. Oh, look, all the managers have been an issue. I agree with you. Like, they've all got things wrong and done things wrong and haven't been able to get their team to work for them. I mean, I just really intrigued to see what comes out in the next couple of days, because I guarantee you we get the players don't enjoy training. They don't like this thing. I just get this feeling that the players are going to start to do it. Stop with the standard nonsense and rebuild your youth and players willing to work for your manager. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you. Look, I want to thank all the super chatters. I want to thank everyone who's hit the like button. I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. Officially the biggest ever Man United stream in the history of the channel. 135,000 people have tuned in tonight, which is
and they tried to tell us about there's no pressure. There's nothing. Because
I'm just saying.
I would just like to say before we go, I feel an element of guilt to the fact that I brought Ruben Amorim onto you people. I feel an element of guilt upon that. I thank my lucky stars every day that my football club don't listen to me. But I brought him into the limelight and I brought him on this platform. And for that, I can only apologise for the distress and harm he's caused the wonderful people on this platform.
I just want to put it. Sorry. I want to put it into context. That's 4 times as many views as when Plymouth knocked Liverpool out the FA Cup. Just want to put it into context. The size of tonight, it's crazy. Yeah, listen, it's going to redirect you to Mo and Hassam's show, so go and check that out. That's if it's still live. I assume it is. I don't know. Allow, I think, is on, so go and check it out. If I have missed a super chat tonight, I'm very sorry. There are so many. There's one here that says, I'm wondering what the atmosphere at Carrington is like. Chelsea's issue seems to have been helped by unity in the camp. Maybe start there. And look, maybe there is a bit of that, you know. And look, this is where I will side to a degree with the players. Maybe the players have looked at it and just gone, you know what, we've been trying this for months. It just isn't clicking. And maybe even the players that have come in are like, ain't quite working. I don't know. But I do agree with you, Lou. If the manager's feeling it and the players are feeling it, let's not drag this on to November. Let's act now. Let's get a solution in place. You never know. I might be shocked and it might actually fucking work this time. But there we go. Listen, thank you to everyone who's tuned in. You're all legends. Until next time, people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I can't wait for my little holiday. Peace.